about in the color space, the D65 sits right in the middle. But from that point right to the vertex, to the top, means we have to have lots of room for movement. It's not possible right now, because also the amount of data, the bandwidth, if you think about YCRCB 444 encoding 60 frames with the HDR content, it's just right now the HDMI does not support. Anyway, so we have to come with an alternative, something that works for everybody, because the other problem is there is a lot of content out there which plays in some TVs, it doesn't play in the others, right? And that is a limitation. So right now, these are what we call the UHD echo chain. So the Dolby, the post-production, Disney, Fox, the Warner Brothers, and in cooperation with the manufacturers like Samsung, Sony, Panasonic, they are sitting together to provide a content, that 4K content, which will support all those kind of things. But this format has to be agreed, right? But right now, there is nothing standard out there. So that's what's happening now. But the only problem here is that some of these guys are not agreeing each other. Netflix, they've got their own ideas, right? And Amazon's got another ideas. And this is the problem, is to get all these guys to agree in one format. But this is what is the aiming about this UHD Alliance. So it means that towards the end of this year, or even the next year, at the beginning, you'll see a lot of standardized content that everybody can use. Now, this brings to another screen here. I'm sorry about the resolution, because I have to just make just like this, just to show the concept. So right now, the broadcast, BBC and some other bodies like ISF, calibration company, they're talking about some certification, UHD certification. What is this UHD certification? For us, we deliver a very high standard 4K TV, which supports the highest resolution, which supports HDR, which supports DCI-P3, all those kind of things. But you probably see that in the market, there is other panels which just have just a resolution, nothing else. For example, this is the case. This not certified product here, which unfortunately we cannot have here to show, but we had this at the CS. This does not even have a movie mode. So it means it cannot even display D65. So that is one of the critical points. It doesn't have any motion, MJC function. It does not have some other adjustments, just the panel and just the basics. And this certification, what it's going to do for us is going to guide the consumer. Yeah. For example, probably most of you remember when was the 720p brought out, and there was the HD ready logo. I'm sure some of you remember this. So that shows that some displays could correctly work on these standards, but others they couldn't, right? So clearly, this is going to guide the consumer if they want to buy a proper 4K product, which can support all these kind of things. Then the logo is there, and the logo is given by a third-party company. They will test. So it will be a checklist. Does it support HDR? Yes. Does it support minimum has to support more than 2000 contrast ratio. So all these kind of things will put the consumer on the right perspective. So if somebody wants to buy another panel, it's totally fine, but there will be a choice and there will be an identification, so they can actually make the right choice. Okay, so this is another thing is happening right now. The UHD